Good evening. Welcome to regular planning commission meeting, Grand Blanc Township, January 8th, 2026. Please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Planning commission members present this evening. We have Mr. Andre, Ms. Coulter, Mr. Johnson, Mr. Joyner, Mr. Gellings, Mr. Hoffman, Ms. Nassar, Mr. Bush, our Director of Planning and Zoning, got that right this time?
Thank you.
Mr. Jeremy Smith, and our planning consultant, Giffords Webster, Mr. Andy Amat. On our agenda, we now have an opportunity for public comment, and this is for anything that is not on our agenda. So we do have a special land use for the veterinary clinic that will have a public hearing for that, correct?
Yes.
So if you're here to speak, would like to speak about anything else, now would be the time. Doesn't look like anyone wants to do that at this time. So we'll close the public comment portion, move on our agenda. Next item is approval of the minutes of December 4th, 2025. Mr. Secretary?
Mr. Chairman, thank you. I would move to accept the minutes as presented.
Motion by Mr. Hoffman, is there support by
She made it.
Ms. Nassar?
She was first.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes 8-0. Approval of the agenda. I understand we have a change.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, 7B, the Chaldean Catholic Church has asked to move their presentation to a later date. They haven't said when, but they're hoping to make it to the February meeting.
Okay, so item C will move up to 7B.
Yes.
No other changes? Motion on this evening's agenda? Motion to approve with the changes.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Andre, supported by Mr. Johnson. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion passes 8-0. Any correspondence?
None.
No old business, brings us on to new business, special land use, North Holly Road. Seeking to open a veterinary clinic in what was a doctor's office at one point. Is there anything you wanted to say initially, or?
We can let the applicant go first and give their spiel, and then I'll give my review.
Someone wants to come up to the microphone and kind of give us an overview of what you're looking to do?
Hi, I'm Angie Santee. This is Dr. Christopher Cook. We are wanting to open up a specialist dermatology veterinary clinic in the area, and we're here for any questions that you have. Dr. Cook has been working at Auburn Hills for 11 years, so he's got a little bit of experience behind him. We found that this location we thought would be very agreeable to people getting to it easily with the 75 access, and we're just looking forward to. I live in Grand Blanc, so very excited to have it here with us. Do you have any questions? That's really what we.
There may be some that pop up, but we'll bring you back up.
Just to let you know that we are a non-boarding facility. It's all during the day. It's pretty much an 8 to 5. So there's no overnight in case there's any concerns for noise or anything such as that. Animals don't stay with us like a normal veterinary clinic. They're in and out. So it's.
Is there a possibility that a dog or animal comes in and you need to walk them for some reason? Do you have the designated space for that? Or
No, but there is a designated space right behind that we can do that with, and we probably will fence that in. I'm
We'll
not
have
sure
day
exactly,
patients,
yeah.
and they'll need to be taken out, but yeah, we're actually really happy there's an area where we can
Yeah.
fence in for that, right? Yeah, I think it's actually already fenced in.
Yeah, so we're very safety conscious of where that goes.
I was just gonna say, every time I take my dog to the vet, they get nervous and they need to go to the bathroom before
Oh,
they
yeah,
go in.
yeah.
So we always walk them before they go in.
I plan to keep my dogs there while I'm working, myself, somewhere separate, and they'll need to go out and walk too, so, and they don't run loose, so and I don't do leashes, so we'll have to put like a fence.
Yeah. We're very stringent with our hygiene as far as that goes too, keeping everything clean and
Oh, they're in my
sanitary.
room.
I mean outside.
Oh, God. Sorry.
Man.
Nassar?
So are you only gonna be offering, skin-related,
We're outpatient
services?
only, appointment only, we don't see emergencies or anything like that. and,
Okay.
We only do skin-related diseases, yeah.
Okay.
Which includes allergies and ears for some reason that I don't need to get into, I think, but yeah.
Everybody's allergic to chicken.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay.
Have a lab, they have ear problems, so that's just,
So is my Mastiff.
yep.
Springer.
Shih Tzus.
Mr. Smith, do you want to?
Should we take your names for?
Yeah, right. After the vote.
May not want to.
Do you want to go through your?
Yeah, I can go through my review here. So this is special land use 25-002, 8392 Holly Road, 1.52 acres, currently zoned office service. Veterinary clinics are regulated as a special land use and requires approval for the business to operate in the office service zone. Following site standards for veterinary clinic, special land use must be met. Use shall be operated by a licensed or registered veterinarian. This item has been met. The principal and all accessory buildings or structures used for treatment or holding of animals shall be set back at least 100 feet from abutting residential districts, which isn't an issue because this is surrounded by all commercial. Churches, restaurants on Syme Street or 50 feet from any property line. This item has been met. Number 3, all principal use activities shall be conducted within totally enclosed principal building. No outdoor pet enclosures or runs are permitted. This item has been met. Any indoor boarding shall be limited to the incidental or to treatment or surgery. As they already explained, this item will be met as well. Number 5, any veterinary clinic, building, or structure which is used for treatment or holding of animals which is adjacent to a residential district shall have the following construction features. This item is not applicable since it's surrounded by commercial. Number 6, outdoor exercise is allowed when the pet is accompanied by an employee, provided no animals shall be permitted outside of the buildings between 8 PM and 7 AM. This item has been met. Number 7, caretaker quarters may be permitted. This is a non-applicable. Planning Department would support a recommendation for approval based on the following reasons. Number 1, the requested special land use is compatible with the surrounding land uses. And number 2, the requested special land use standards for veterinary clinics have been met.
So if there is approval on the special land use tonight, what's the process going forward? Do they need to submit?
So they've already submitted site plans, but it's going to be an admin because there's just a use change. They're not doing anything to the building. So if there's any conditions that we need to do for a site plan, they need to be done now because it's just going to be an admin approval after tonight done by myself.
And just to clarify, there are a couple of items on the drawing that we have right now. They're identified as new additions, but those were already constructed
Correct.
years ago. And
Right, my request to them was to give you something so you could see a visual of what it was. I forget when these site plans were done. It's hard to read. I think it was 91 was the last time those additions were done. But I needed something so you guys could see exactly visually what was there in the parking spaces and so forth.
Okay. Any other questions, comments? Couple of comments. I was out there this afternoon. The gates on the dumpsters need some repair. There's some boards that are broken, missing.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
The dumpster has some repair that needs to be made to some boards that are broken or missing. And I assume that this would be the time to have them match the town's current ordinance regarding wheels on the dumpster.
Yes.
It's real easy. It's just so that the gates don't sag down. That's the idea.
Yeah, I noticed that.
What are your plans with, well, let me ask you a different question first. How many parking spaces do you see that you're gonna need? Maximum number. Things go great for you.
Things go great for us. Figure how many you're working.
We'll have
4 at work.
Yeah, 4 at work.
We're gonna see. I mean,
Maybe 2 patients at a time, in there
So-
at a time.
10 would
Because
be
we
a
have one
very
doctor, so,
good
yeah.
estimate of how much would be.
That's what I thought. And currently on the site, there's like 40-something.
there's ample parking,
There's
our needs.
ton of parking. What about the surface of the parking lot? Any plans?
I haven't seen that. It didn't
I
look
haven't
great.
seen any outside plans. I think that would be something, I don't know, that has been discussed. with Our landlords, that's something we didn't have any.
You're starting to see some deterioration out there in the parking surface itself. The reason behind me asking this is relatively recently, maybe a year ago, we updated the size of our parking spaces so that it accommodates pickup trucks and without opening your door and banging into something. We made them another foot wider. So I'd like to see the parking lot stripe, and it looks like if you lose 4 or 5 parking spaces, it's not gonna affect you at all. You'll have plenty of spaces. So maybe the right thing to do is have the parking lot seal coated to fill in some of those cracks and then restripe it. Landlord,
Yeah.
okay with that?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
just to add to that too, I'm in charge of code enforcement as well, and that's gonna be a big sticking point that we're gonna go after for most of the businesses next year anyways, is parking lot, so getting ahead of it is better now than later, but we understand. Mhm.
Just making a couple notes here. Anybody have anything else? Mr. Bush?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to make a note, under office service. This is a special land use, item 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, underneath office service, and it directs you to section 4.72 veterinary clinics. And I just want to make sure there's 7 criteria there that we want to make sure they're complied with. And it sounds like most of them are. A couple of them are for housing animals overnight, which you're not going to do. So I just want to make sure those are adhered to.
Want to run through those quickly?
We just did, that's what's in my review.
Yeah. It's 4.72 of the zoning ordinance.
Anyone else have any? Anything else you wanted to say, or?
No, I just think to approve it, because I think it could be a big benefit for the neighborhood, and, yeah. Yeah. And we want it to look nice. It's been empty for a long time, it appears.
Yes. We're excited, there's gonna be some tenants in there, yes, very much so.
I went in today.
Yep.
So, Mr. Smith, from your letter, do I need to mention, looks like everything, looks like everything's been met?
Say that again?
Everything's been met on your letter?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I got two items, add wheels to the dumpsters per our current ordinance. I'm gonna say and repair gates. And then seal coat and restripe to the current parking space size for our ordinance. Somebody care to make a motion?
Public hearing.
Oh, public. Have a seat. So we'll open up the public hearing for special land use 25-002. Anyone would like to make a comment regarding this application for special land use? Nope. All right, we'll close the public hearing, bring it back up to the planning commission for any other comments. Doesn't look like there are any. If that's the case, then, did you have something?
No, I was going to make the motion.
Okay, I'd say a motion would be in order then.
All right, I'll make a motion for approval for special land use 25-002 with the mentioned notes.
Support. So that was a motion by Mr. Johnson, that was support by Mr. Bush. And that included the two comments that I had made. All right. All those in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion passes 8-0. Congratulations, all set.
Good luck.
Yeah.
So give me a call tomorrow. Give me a call tomorrow and I'll run you through permitting and everything else.
I will just mention one thing. A little disappointed that this area doesn't have an emergency clinic. I had a dog, it was about 2 years ago, and because we had to take it an hour away, did not make it. And so I've heard that a lot in this area. Flint doesn't have it. I mean, it's an over an hour away. So I also understand scale. You know, I say, hey, you know what, we can't be open if we're not going to get business. But I will tell you that's, from my standpoint, it's a needed service in the area. So just.
So just as an FYI, our company as a whole is specialty.
Right,
So we
right.
do oncology, dermatology, all of that.
But you know people.
But
But you know people.
Is that we do know, and we do know the huge need, because I've been in GP in this area too for quite a while, so.
Yep.
I do know the need for.
Yep, it's huge. So thank you. Thank you for passing it on, information.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next item on our agenda is text amendment discussions. We got a couple of those in our packet.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Let's start with the chickens.
Oh, is it up again?
So after our discussion and then you guys pushing the changes from 10 acres to 2 and all the other amendments that we had, trustee White implored if we had looked at this at a lower acreage level. And I said we did, but our concerns were, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's kind of speaking for you since I was at that meeting, at the township board meeting, I said, we didn't want to get into an issue where we went too low and then have to come back up and then we'd have legal nonconforming and things of that sort. He still requested that we look at this at a lower rate than the 2 acres that has already been approved. So that's why it's here today. In with this, Andy has provided and Giffords have provided kind of what the other municipalities are and what they currently allow for their ordinances for chickens. So we're here discussing it. If we are inclined to make more changes, we can do so. If we want to keep it the way it is and let it breathe for a year or two, we're so inclined to. I just need we need to have another discussion about it tonight, so that way when I go to the township board meeting, that I can explain our sentiment from the planning commission on whether we do or do not want to reduce even further.
Mr. Bush.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm going to start this off by, we've seen this a few times. So as a planning commission, we've discussed this at quite some length. And I guess maybe my question is more for Mr. Smith. This is a recommendation to the township board of our findings.
Yes.
Okay, so we gave them our findings. Am I correct in assuming that the township board has the authority to modify our recommendation?
So they have already approved it at 2 acres.
Okay, I'm going to go back to my question.
Yep.
Does the board have the ability to modify our recommendation?
You would have to approve here now at a planning commission level, a reduction, and then recommend it to the township board.
Okay, we recommended 5 acres, right?
No, we recommended 2.
2, okay, we recommended 2 acres.
Right.
At that point, it went to the township board.
Correct.
Could they have modified our recommendation?
Yes.
And why did it come back to us?
Right. Good question.
After,
That was my
It should not
question.
come back to us if they want our decision modified. That's just my opinion.
well, just so it was approved, and then there was discussion, it was approved.
That's the board's issue, not ours.
6 to 1, I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was unanimously, obviously approved. And then there was discussion immediately after the vote to discuss it further to reduce it.
Well, to me, that sounds like that they did a premature vote, that they should have discussed this prior to a vote. And, I mean, if we want to discuss it, we can, but I mean, we've discussed this at length.
I agree.
I mean, if we don't want to spend a lot of time on it, that's your prerogative, and say, hey, look, we believe 2 acres was enough. I'm just your vessel for, I'm your voice at a township board meeting. So whatever you guys want to do, that's up to you. I was required by a township board member, who was my boss, to bring this back to you to discuss it further. So now I am doing my due diligence and what I need to do. I look for your guidance on this, on what you guys feel is or isn't necessary at this point.
I personally don't feel like being questioned. Mr. Hoffman?
So if I remember correctly, going through this numerous times, we had a much larger acreage. Wasn't it more like 10 acres?
10 acres was the original, yep.
10 acres, we were asked to look at it again. We reduced it by 80% down to 2 acres.
Yep.
I actually don't have too big of a problem with somebody saying, hey, can you look at this again? That's fine. But I do see that when we went from 10 to 2, we were trying to pay attention to the whole community, and not everybody's in favor of it, but we were trying to help where we could. I also have been on, not this time, but before, I've spent many years on this. The BZA, we as a township have done a wonderful job of listening to requests from our citizens and saying, hey, I need a variance, and then turning around and saying, wow, everybody's asking for this variance, maybe we should fix this. I would think that at this time, again, I don't remind the answer, but we've moved it from 10 to 2, an 80% reduction. We have a BZA, we have a great, again, I'm not trying to repeat myself, but trying to be clear, a great reputation of listening to the needed variances and then acting on it if we need to do it. I guess that's what I would be in favor of.
Okay, can I just, I agree with Paul. Also, I think since this is a new area for us, I mean, it's not like we're going from, 6 or something and, somebody wants to go less than that. I think we should give it some time to see how, it works for 2 acres and, maybe it'll give rise to some other issues that we haven't considered. So since, like I said, we're in new territory here, I'd like to give it a chance and see how it's working out. We can always come back and change it.
Right.
Hopefully I was understood that I was saying the same thing. Because you said, I agree with Paul. So did you hear me say the same thing? Or no?
I wasn't sure.
Said it nicer.
Wow, okay, all right. Well, I just want to, add that out there, that, yeah, I think that going from 10 to 2 And then knowing that we have a system here, that if we need to fix something, we have that system, and we've proven that we do that, I think we're fine,
Okay.
with it.
Mr. Andre?
Yeah, thank you. I'm going to echo both everybody's voices so far up here. We spent a lot of time as a commission. We listened to a lot. I mean, we had folks that were very adamant about this issue, and we listened. We debated. We talked a lot about it, and we came to what we felt was a very comfortable resolution on this. And I'm going to go along with Mr. Bush. The township board had the opportunity prior to adopting it to have that discussion. Since it's been adopted, I don't feel like it could be punted back to us to say, well, take a look at it again. Well, we did. We did our due diligence. We arrived at the conclusions that we do. I feel comfortable with it, and hopefully other members of the planning commission do as well. And what I would ask, Loris, I think it was perfect. Give it some time to settle in. Mr. Smith, has there been any requests for a variance?
No.
It seems to be working then.
I mean, trying to remember when it was actually September, so that was the end of season anyways.
So we're talking about implementing something that we haven't even had a chance to see fully
We
implemented.
haven't even had we haven't even had
Exactly.
6 months at it yet.
Let's, I think, pump the brakes, let it settle in, see how that goes. You're the great resource for us to give us the opportunity to say, hey, we've had 3 folks come in and ask for variances on this. That's a good indication if we have to take a second look at it, from my opinion. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
If I remember correctly from the previous discussions, one of the concerns with going too small was opening up to subdivisions all over the place. And so I
Right.
think we want to try it and see how it goes.
Right.
So no changes at this time from recommendation from the
Okay,
planning commission.
I will reiterate that to the board. Thank you.
Very good. Buildings to be scaled in size relative to their lot size.
Yep, so this was in conjunction, going back to what we just talked about, having applications come in for ZBAs and acreage not lining up with the allowable accessory structure square footage to meet those same needs for 20, 30, 40, 50 acre parcels. In front of you is a memo to change the wording and square footage and calculation in order to scale appropriately for accessory structures on larger parcels. And I'll let Mr. Amat take over.
Yeah, so the whole purpose, as Jeremy said, was to scale things. So if you have a larger lot, you have then potentially more allowance to build a bigger accessory building as well as more accessory buildings on the property. So what we did here was you all liked the chart format of both East Bay and Bruce Townships ordinance, but then you also liked the scaling ability of Davison's. So we kind of put the scaling ability of Davison's into a chart form like those other ordinances. So we're proposing a chart here and with it scaling accordingly like the recommended square footage and number that you settled on last meeting.
I do. One thing else that we also, Andy and I discussed, was that if you see the first note underneath the chart, the first star there, this will also, as it sits today, you have to deduct for any other outbuildings and attached garages. This does away with that now. Right? That's what we just.
No, this says that you can't use your attached, if you have a huge attached garage.
Oh, not
you can't-
for
you can't
floor area. I'm
include
sorry, I
that.
take that back.
Yeah, you would include your floor area of the dwelling, not the attached garage.
I'm sorry. That was one other thing they
Yeah.
were kicking around, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Never mind, that doesn't change. Right, so never
Yeah,
mind.
we went over
Remo-
that.
Remove all that, what I just said. It's defining what is ground floor area and what is, can and can't be used as into the calculation. So yes, I am very, it blends the two very well. And I think this will be easy for, user-friendly for me and my staff, and then also for the residents as well.
In the other little distinguishment we made was, 2 acres and up, we're using the total residential floor area, which can be a second floor, or a first floor, or even, I believe,
All
all
floor space.
residential floor area, whereas the first 2 acres, you're just taking the gross ground floor area, so the footprint essentially. Because I think there's a little bit of a concern when you're when you're a smaller property, you want to match the buildings more with the footprint rather than, a stacked building or a stacked 2-story house. So that was why we make that distinguishment.
So basically, the up to 2 acres didn't change at all. It just got thrown in this chart. Instead of
Yeah.
taking it out of having it in the paragraph form, have them easily looked at in this chart form.
So let's say you're allowed a 3-story house, right?
Correct.
As long as it fits underneath your height
Yep.
requirements. And let's say it's a 3-story, 3 stories above grade, it's 800 square feet footprint. So that's 2,400 square foot, but you're not able to use it 2,400, you can only.
How many so the next question is, how many acres do you have? Are you under 2 or are you over 2?
Because that's where that line's.
That's where that's
divided.
gonna be the dividing line of acreage is gonna determine, are you using 800 or are you using 2,400? So over 2 acres would be 2,400, under 2 acres would be 800. And again, that first line up to 2 acres is exactly how it reads today. And it works well.
Yeah.
So I'm just not clear in these notes. Which note is it that makes that clarification?
So there's stars after each one.
First star?
Star 1 is basically explaining what you can and can't do, use for,
Star 1 is just for the up to 2 acres, and that's because, and we use Star 1 because gross ground floor area has a definition in the ordinance, and that does not include attached accessory buildings like garages.
I wanted to
Yep.
just,
Yep. And residential floor area also doesn't include garages and attached structures as well, but it allows the stacking of floors.
anybody else have comments?
A question, just maybe, so for context, if we could run through an example. So if you had 5 acres
yep,
and you had 1,000 square foot footprint, but you had 3 stories, 1, 2, 3, you're saying 3,000 square feet.
You would count 3,000 square feet as
3,000
your
square
starting
feet.
point.
as your starting
And
point
then you
times 4.
Times.
Yeah.
So the thing is, it allows you a barn.
So you could have a big pole barn. Yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing that we didn't change as well is the height requirement.
That's,
Under 2, you're at 14-foot mean height. Over 2, you're at 18-foot mean height. So that was something we changed, you all changed about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago now. We changed the height requirement on the barns.
for accessory structures.
Excuse me?
It's for accessory use structures?
Correct.
Right. It's so, it could be different than the underlying zoning then, as well, that height. Is that correct?
So it could be different than what the
different.
zoning allows for.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. So accessory structures are just either 14 or 18.
Right.
And it's under 2 or over 2. What you have in like R1 as opposed to R4 for the height of the house doesn't come into
Indifferent.
play.
It's indifferent.
Correct.
Okay. Yep. I think it simplifies.
Now, if they wanted to come for a variant, let's just say you wanted a 2-story pole barn and you had 30 acres and you're out in BFE somewhere out in the south end of town. You want to go for a height variance. If it's applicable, maybe you'll get it, maybe you won't. But at that point, it's 18-foot mean height. You're going to be able to get most of your fifth wheels now, even with the AC units on top. I mean, you may not get a second story in there, but you could get a 2-stack lift in it. I mean, they're doing all kinds of crazy things
10-foot eave is
with
pretty high.
engineered trusses now. So I mean, there's a lot of ways that you can still maintain that 18-foot mean height. So mean height, if anybody has any issues or questions on that, it's the bottom of the truss, or eave, basically, to the peak. That halfway point in the middle is what we consider the mean height. So you can adjust pitch and wall height to meet that mean height requirement. But the height's already been taken care of, we don't have to worry about the day, we're just worried about square footage.
So this is a recommendation to Township Board?
Yes, sir.
Isn't
You would set the public.
Oh, I'm sorry, we didn't do that, I'm sorry, yes, you're right, correct. Public hearing next month, if approved.
We're good, I'm good with that. Sounds like everybody else is too. Set a public hearing for next month?
Are you making that motion?
No.
I'll make a motion to set a public hearing for this. I'm sorry, the number is?
Text amendment, accessory use structure, accessory structure.
We didn't give it a number.
Okay, sorry. So
have to.
text
I believe
amendment
it's gonna
for
be-
accessory usage.
Accessory building sign.
T674T, don't quote me on
Hey,
that.
sounds good to me. And for next available meeting.
Support.
Motion by Mr. Hoffman to set the public hearing for next month or whatever is the next available, support by Mr. Bush. All those in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion passes 8-0. All right. Next on our agenda, where did it go?
Yeah, Jeremy and I just talked about this. I don't know if you want to take it, but I can just take it,
go
give a quick introduction. We just wanted to pass this out as a handout, as kind of the first step in what we want to analyze with you is the kind of the broad category of event, assembly, recreation. We want to do a little bit of a cleanup or kind of a potentially consolidation at times. If you feel like it's relevant, obviously we'll give you a little bit more. But we wanted to just give you a quick handout here to just let you know that this is on the radar and that there are, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, essentially 11 different use categories in your zoning ordinance that speak to a similar theme, and some of these actually overlap pretty substantially in terms of definitions and use standards as well. So it just may be worthwhile cleaning this up in the zoning ordinance. So I guess this is kind of just a handout to kind of give you a starting point of really what we're going to be looking at in the coming future.
Just to piggyback off that as well, this is kind of in lieu of, if you all remember the presentation that the couple made for the outdoor space over at the vineyard off McCandless Road in Leach out there, to kind of put our finger on what we do have, what we don't have, as far as being able to point them in a direction, because they're trying to do something that's kind of unique, very unique, thank you, very unique, and something we don't really have in our ordinance. So in lieu of that, and trying to kind of pinpoint that down and zero it down if we can and can't do that, this was Jill and Andy's first step of us to kind of narrow that down and kind of see what we have and what we don't have. Next month, we'll dive into this further, but we just want to get it in front of you so that way you knew that we weren't trying to push off the couple off McCandless. And we're working on it, it's just, we have other needs that we're in front of them.
And this one's going to be pretty lengthy, so just giving you a heads up, I guess is kind of part of the point.
Yeah.
Because we had two other discussion points tonight, so we
Correct.
didn't want to jump into
Yeah,
this one.
I just wanted everybody to do a little homework and kind of go through this chart and say, okay,
Well, is it that particular event space or whatever would be addressed as part of this whole?
that's, we want to see if it fits into these uses or if it doesn't fit into these uses. That's kind of what, we want to take these and see what we have. Take that use and what they're trying to do, does it fit somewhere? If it does, great. If it doesn't, is there somewhere where we can add something that potentially they could go in there? Or are we okay with what we have and maybe they don't fit anywhere and maybe we don't want it to go that far on that piece of property?
But also just trying to clean these up as
Yeah,
well, kind
yeah.
of while we.
While we're working on it, we might as well
Consolidate.
consolidate or expand.
Mr. Hoffman, did you have something?
Yeah, I was just going to say, yeah, I appreciate the idea. If you already have 11 and something that is being brought to you doesn't fit in these 11, instead of going to 12, figure out if we can go. But I also like the idea of not all 11 these are not going to be going down to one either.
No.
So consolidating is, I think you're on the right path, and I appreciate what you're doing.
Mr. Joyner?
Yeah, when I first saw this, I had this flashback to something that happened out in Oregon, the Rajneesh, group that, basically took over a whole town. But maybe that's probably a different conversation, a different subject matter, maybe, I don't know. But it just popped into my head. I thought, because they had all sorts of outdoor uses, things like that. So, it was,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Again, going back to that site, parking is going to be their problem. That's going to be their hurdle that they're going to have to accomplish first and foremost. I guess our point is we want to see, do they fit in somewhere?
Yeah.
And then we can address everything as either a special land use or however we want to do it. And then say, okay, yes, you can, but you still have X, Y, Z of requirements before you can have said event space. So
Okay.
this was just the first step in a much lengthy process, like Andy said.
Okay, very good. Move on to committee reports.
Yeah, do you want to explain our site plan review today?
We had a final site plan review for the Randy Wise Hyundai on Holly Road. They approved, just had a couple of minor comments. That's all we've really seen recently. What about, Sarah's not here.
Zoning,
Well, to expand on that, just so everybody's aware, they also purchased the remaining parcel that was behind them for future parking lot expansion. Not building expansion, parking lot expansion. But of the 17 acres, there's only probably 4 buildable acres back there. And they'll have to remove it from the PUD again, so it'll start here and then be recommended to the township board. It's a process, I know, but they'll have to attach it to the parcel they have now, which says that in a PUD, you can't have, the reason why we pulled it out before was in that PUD, you couldn't have car sales. So that's why we gotta do the PUD first, removal, then we can do amended site plan. It's a process. They're not gonna do this day one, but they have the ability. Now, there was easement, access issues, there was, setback potential issues, landscaping. A lot of that issues are null and void now that they own that remainder parcel behind them.
Mr. Bush?
Thank you. I'm going to piggyback on what Mr. Smith said, and Mr. Wise even made a comment that he was proud to own the 17 acres and possible of walking in nature trails. So just to keep that in mind when they do come, he actually already offered that up.
Part of it is, it's only, what, 4 acres?
Yeah, it's only
4 acres of 17
so
is
if we can get some
buildable.
kind of a
Right.
community benefit.
Oh, and they did offer a sidewalk out front too.
They did.
yeah.
So,
How big is Monday Commons?
I don't know.
Don't know. Okay, just curious.
Means miracle comments.
It's a mile circuit.
Is that what it's called?
Commons.
Yeah, whatever. I was just curious how big it was compared to.
Mr. Ahmad,
Walking trails.
I had a comment for
It's big.
Mr. Smith that struck me when we were reviewing, the required number of spaces was on that dealership was what, like 45 or something like that. And yet, if I recall correctly in our ordinance, which may or may not be true, once you got over like a 20% increase over the required number, it required like planning commission approval. Well, they have like 140 spaces, but most of those are being used as display space. Is there, what have you run into with other areas? Should we be counting display spaces separate? That's just something to consider for
It's a good question. I think most communities would not count the display space as a required parking space, but
Just thinking is, just food for thought as far as code enforcement and site plan approval process. If you put that in there, I don't have the manpower to sit out there to make sure that they have 20 spaces for employees and patrons, and then all these other spaces are just for display. So while I agree with you, that would be great, but I guess how do I enforce that is my question.
I think you want them to comply with layout and maneuvering lanes and stuff and all
Yeah,
of
that's what we
that,
did, but I just,
so that it's orderly, but I
there's
don't,
someone gonna look at it and go, hey, how come you allowed them so many parking spaces? Well, it was just something that popped.
Yeah, no, and I'm with you. We don't want that sea of parking, right? That's kind of, but 90% of those parking spaces are gonna be full.
and there's engineering that'll go on with the site that your township engineer will approve and,
So I just didn't want to be in the position that we ignore something in the ordinance where it says anything more than 20% over this requires planning commission approval.
yeah.
That's all.
That's
I mean,
right.
you're the
Just something to
expert
think
on
about.
It's in there.
ordinance, but, okay.
It's in there.
Mr. Joyner?
You know, from a dealership point of view, I mean, when you have a facility like that, I mean, it's very flexible, the number of spaces that you use. A lot of times, you know, there are spaces that are alongside the building that they use for cars that are finished with maybe their servicing that's being done. They park out there, then they're empty. I've parked, I know, in lot parking, you know, for next to brand-new vehicles, just because there wasn't a space available, or they were shoveling snow. So I think, you know, having the dealership, you know, the flexibility to use that as, you know, maybe more service comes in, maybe less service comes in, they have that capability to have that flexibility without having to worry that, you know, they're not having enough spaces for parking and for non-parking type of stuff. I mean, it's an in and out process, you know.
We can look at it, though. I mean,
Just,
see,
I
we can
was
see.
just curious what other places do.
Yeah,
Yeah, and don't quote me on it, but I do believe most places would say those displays could go above that maximum, kinda. I know that the concern is that you know, in 25 years, you might have a huge sea of parking, but I think when these are engineered well, I mean, I think you're mitigating potential nuisances that happen from huge paved surfaces.
Mr. Bush?
So, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just clarification, El Sera is, in your opinion, is the 1,000 cars parked back there that are new cars, parking or display?
I think that would fall under display.
Okay, because I mean, I say 1,000, and there's probably,
A lot.
who's probably close. And it is a sea of display.
Yeah, because you can drive back there and take a
Right.
look at the different cars, check
Yes.
the window sticker.
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
So I think what the chairman is bringing up is not the fact that the dealerships need this area. They do need this area. Are we following our policy to say, well, if you're going to be over 20%, which they're going to be, they're going to have more than the parking, are we checking that box? You're just saying, are we following the red tape?
Is it as simple as just adding a little sentence where that ever it appears in the ordinance that this doesn't apply to?
Our dealerships. Yeah, I think that's the only thing you were mentioning. Not that they don't need it.
Well, they're pretty unique.
They do need it.
Yeah.
They do, but Mr. Chairman, we actually had a situation on a site plan not long ago that
That's a different.
they wanted more parking, but they were removing required parking to add a building. And that's a problem. Unless they're gonna, you know, take away display and add parking. But that's an issue, and we're probably gonna see that site plan come back again. And it's just, this dealership, and I'll just say this dealership was removing 25 to 30 required parking spaces to build a building.
So in the ordinance, the way it reads is 2.5 spaces for each 1,000 square feet of interior sales plus 1.5 spaces per 1,000 square feet of exterior display, plus 3 spaces for every service bay. From the beginning, they've been in compliance with that. So I don't think they've exceeded that.
You mean rating-wise?
This site, yes.
Yeah.
It met those requirements, because if they would have been over the 20% of this calculation, then yes, we would have addressed that already. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, is there a zoning board of appeals report, or?
We haven't had any. We will probably have one in February. There's a gentleman on Baldwin Road that is looking to do, he's got quite a few acres, and he wants to have a taller than required or allowable fence in his front yard. I believe he's on the corner too, so basically, the corner, he wants to be able to have a taller for security purposes.
And earlier we talked a little bit about the chickens. I guess that falls under the township board report. Anything else that goes with that?
Bring up chicken.
I haven't been to a meeting since we discussed the chickens, so. Since what?
Since last year.
Since last year, yeah, right. I will be at one of the next ones, so if there's anything else, I can definitely report back.
Okay. Do you have anything else?
I do not.
Yes, we'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved?
Motion by Ms. Nassar to adjourn at 7:51.
51.
52.
Support by Mr. Joyner. All those in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
That's a